Hey guys, VirtualBox here, and today I'm going to show you how you can create a Windows 11 virtual machine. So the first thing you need is some sort of virtualization software. Now in this video we're going to be using VirtualBox. So to install VirtualBox you want to come to this link here, the link will be in the description, and then you want to select the correct platform for your current host. So that is the operating system that you're running as your main OS on your system. So for me I'm running Windows 10, so I'm going to select the Windows host option here, and that will then start downloading the installer. And now the installer is downloaded. If we now open it up, and if we now go through the installation wizard, so if we click next, yes, and then install, it will then start installing VirtualBox. And there we go, VirtualBox is now installed, so if we click finish, it should then launch it. And there we go, we now have VirtualBox installed. So now we've done that, we now need to come back to the downloads page, and we need to install the VirtualBox extension package. So we're just going to click the all supported platforms option here, and that will download the package. And now it is downloaded. If we open it up and we click install, and then we read the end user license agreement and we agree to it, it will then start installing the package. And then just to check that it has installed, we're going to click up here and we're going to click extensions. And there you go, as you can see we now have the extension package installed. So now we've done that, we now need to get hold of a Windows 11 ISO. So to do that we're going to come to this link here, the link will be in the description. And then we're going to scroll down to the bottom here where it says download Windows 11 disk image. Then we're going to select the drop down and we're going to select Windows 11 multi-edition ISO. Then we're going to click download, and once our request is validated we're then going to click the next drop down box, and you then need to select your language. So for me that is going to be English International, and then I'll click confirm. And then again, once your request has been validated, you then should have a download option up here. So I'm going to click the 64-bit download option here, and that will download the ISO. And now the ISO is downloaded, I will just move it to the desktop. And there we go, I've moved the ISO file to the desktop. Now you don't need to put it on the desktop, you can have it anywhere, you just need to know where it is located. I've just moved it to the desktop so it's easier for you to see. So now we've done that, if we now open VirtualBox back up, and now we're going to create our virtual machine. So to do that we're going to click the new option up here. And then we're going to give the virtual machine a name. So this is the name that will show up in the list of our virtual machines. So I'm just going to call it Windows 11. Then once you've given it a name, you then need to come down to where it says ISO image. And you want to click the drop down, and then you want to click other. And then you need to find the location of your ISO. So for me that is on the desktop. And then once you have the ISO file selected, you then want to click open. And then once you've selected your ISO file, you then want to come down to the bottom here and you want to check the box that says skip unattended installation, as we're not going to be setting up an unattended installation as we're only installing it on this machine. We don't need it, it's easier just to skip that. So we will have the skip unattended installation box here checked. And then with that box checked, it then grays out these options here as we do not need them. So now we've done that, we're now going to click next. And now you need to select the amount of RAM that is going to be allocated to your virtual machine. So I'm going to increase mine to around 6 GB, and then if you want you can change the number of CPU cores that are allocated to it. I'm just going to leave it on the default, and then I'm going to click next. Then you need to select how much disk space you want your virtual machine to have. Now I don't need mine to have much, so I'm going to reduce mine to 30 GB. However, you can put it as large as you want. Just remember the amount of space that is taken up by this virtual machine will reduce the amount available to your host system. So obviously you need enough on your host system. You don't want to be allocating all of your host system's storage to the VM. But as I say, I only need about 30 GB, so I've reduced it down to that. And then I'm going to click next. Then we're going to click finish. And now we've done that, we can now select our VM. So that is Windows 11 over here. And then we're going to click start. Now once the VM is started, we want to click into it and we want to press a key on the keyboard. Doing that will then start the installation process for Windows 11. So now we need to go through the installation like we would on any other normal installation of Windows. So if we just click next, install now. So if you want, you can enter your product key now. I'm just going to click I do not have a product key. And then you want to select the version of Windows that you want to install. So I'm going to select Windows 11 Pro. And then I'm going to click next. Then we're going to accept the terms. Now if it does come up saying this PC can't run Windows 11, I've done a video on how to bypass that, there will be a link in the video description. However, if it doesn't, you can carry on with the installation process like so. So I'm going to select customized install, and then I will select the 30 GB drive that we set up earlier in the process, and it is now installing Windows 11 onto the VM. And now the install is finished, we now need to go through the setup process. So you need to select your country or region, then you need to select your keyboard layout, and then we'll skip a second one. And then if you want, you can set a name for your device. I'm just going to click skip for that. Then we will just select personal use, and then you want to sign in with a Microsoft account. Now, if you don't want to sign into a Microsoft account, there will be a link in the video description on how to create a local account when installing Windows 11, but if you're not bothered, you can just sign into your Windows account here. And then once you've signed into an account or set up one, you then need to select your location preferences, so I'll click no, then I'll click no for finding my device, required only for the data, no to the inking and typing, no to the diagnostics data, no to the advertising ID, and there we go, the setup is now finished. Now if you want to be able to change the resolution of your VM, you will need to do some extra work. A video on how to do that will be in the description, so I'll just quickly do that and I'll be back with you. Now if you want to change the view of your VM, all you need to do is come to View, and then you can select what you want. So I'm going to change it to full screen mode, and that will just make it full screen like a normal OS would. Now if you want to get out of full screen mode, all you have to do is press right Control and C at the same time, and that will change you through the different modes. So there we go, we now have a Windows 11 VM set up. So guys, if you liked the video, don't forget the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. Subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you another time. Bye.